Hey, it's Perry from Reach It. I don't know if any of you have ever watched Khan Academy videos online, but it's a dude who's got like a free university. So we're putting together like our little program of the really deep stuff about, what you need to know, especially with the transition of the window cleaning industry from, pencil jets and through to rinse bars, in particular the Hydroblade 2. This video is a draft video of what I'm submitting to my video team, and I want to kind of share that with you. You get the data now, with my rough style of video, and then later on, maybe 30 days from now, you'll see the actual finished product. And I think you'll find it really interesting to see, how something can start as an idea on a piece of paper and end up as something really amazing that you'll be able to add professionally into your standard operating procedures, the way you train your staff, what they need to know to become a really professional window cleaner with the high-tech tools that we're developing. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. This first one is about how and why a rinse blade will clog and what to do about it. So Martin, this is a video that we need to make to try and keep it simple. It's all about clogged rinse bars. I don't know if clogged is the right word, but why rinse bars clog. And the reason is that it's a closed circuit. So the water comes in through your tube, right, like this, and it comes into a T, and then it either comes around to the left into the hydroblade or it comes around to the right into the hydroblade. So basically that. So if we were to get a little bit of grit over here, and that piece of grit travels up here, it'll get to here and it'll either go to the left or the right, whatever. Once it comes around to the left or the right, it's going to come to here and it's going to end up in the hydroblade. Now, what's happening is the rest of the water is also coming from here. So there's an equal amount of water going around to the left and to the right. So the reason why most people's jets clog here, so you'll end up with these jets are squirting fine and here, and then these jets fail or come to zero, and then these jets are fine, right? And the reason is the water's coming around and then coming to the center. That's got nowhere to go but the center, and then it wants to come out, right? So it may clog an earlier one, but as a rule, it's the center ones that clog first. And so that's the reason. So the way to clear them, and the reason we clear them, and this is what we want to try and animate. So you'd make the base footage, and then Harrison can send this video to somebody and animate it. So the water's coming around, it's getting, the little grit pieces are getting stuck in the center where the two forces of water are sort of meeting each other, and then it's got nowhere to go, but it tries to come out here, and then it gets stuck in the jet here, and then it's not going to come out. So the way to clear it is we need to turn it from a closed system to an open system. So then we're going to disconnect this tube here, block this here with your finger or whatever, turn the water on. The water's now going to come in, around, and basically come out, yeah? And then we get a needle or the drill bit that we supply, and we poke the needle and the drill bit into this jet. That then dislodges the little bit of grit. The water flow is coming around like this. So the little bit of grit is now going to join the water flow. The water will find the path of least resistance. The grit will be caught in the turbulence, so it won't try and get out of jet, right? Because it's going to be easier to come around, so it's going to come all the way around and it's going to come out, right? So that's the process that we want to explain to people. And then how do you prevent this from happening? Is you protect this here. So if they keep this clean, there's no way for the grit to get into the system. Now there's one other thing that can happen, is that you have basically a DI tank. And if the DI tank doesn't, it should have a piece of mesh up here that stops the DI from getting into the water flow, but from time to time that tank falls over or whatever, and somehow a piece of resin gets, there's a couple of reasons why it can happen and get through here. This could crack, or a tube could crack or whatever. But anyway, if a piece of resin, like a little resin bead, gets in there, right, then that resin bead will come through and block the hydroblade as well. Again, push it out, let it get into the flow, flow it out, and then reconnect the brush, and it'll stay clean. Okay, so if you can create the master video for that, and then Harrison can get it animated to explain that.